Alright, so we got some great news here. It's a lot of good things, interesting things happening. I look like a badass here, don't I? Yeah. So anyhow, Devin moved down here yesterday. Got to syncing up on a lot of the ideas here. He's bringing in the Russelian cosmogony. And started looking at that yesterday. I think Russell's onto something, right? But he's very molasses-like in his energy, though. It zapped me down. I'm mostly going to have to look at his pictures, not his language, I don't think. But anyhow, Devin and I received some amazing news. And basically, we secured our new apartment, which is going to be our business headquarters, right? So for the Drawing Apprentice business, now we have a spot. We have a space to call our own and to do work from. So we're going to be able to start working on the app, working on art projects related to it, working on media related to it, different types of marketing with the app itself, different types of engagement with the app. So we're going to turn it into space, into a little gallery, little community workspace. Anybody working on the ideas is going to have a little space to work in. We'll have a living quarters upstairs, and I think that'll be my living quarters, and the living room will be upstairs, and I'm predicting Devin's room is going to be downstairs. So I'm extremely happy about that, and that's a very positive development. So showing Devin around, showing him around town. You know what's really interesting is that I was able to kind of show him all the cool spots, right? All the cool little things about Atlanta that I've been kind of trying to build up over time. You know, the market, all the Beltline, all the little cool sculptures, cool groves all over the place. And I've realized that I've really made this community my own, really made this neighborhood my own, in terms of like owning it and morphing it and shaping it to my needs and shaping my routines and my, you know, the ins and outs of my day to the neighborhood, and then allowing the neighborhood to shape my life, right? And it's shaped it in so many interesting ways. I've met so many interesting people because of the neighborhood, exclusively because of how it's organized, because of how it's set up, because of where my resources are that I need to go every day. I need to get coffee, I need to get food, I need to get all my stuff, right? And so I'm meeting people every day, getting that stuff, which is different than how I've used to do it in the past. It's more so how the ancient people used to do it. Go to the market every day, get some food, get to do your job, do your tasks, whatever, and have interesting things happen to you while you're out and about. Rather than working like a robot every day in a factory, in like a cubicle factory, an intellectual factory, where you're producing thoughts for a living, right? Boring thoughts to drive boring machines, to drive a boring society, to drive boredom, right? But now we're talking about a fun process to drive fun insights, to drive people playing and having fun, which is much different than we were talking about before. So with this new workspace, we're going to try to make a studio slash technology space to work in, and so that's going to be an interesting type of challenge there. How can we create this space that's both artistic and technologically advanced and scientific, right? So it has both the science, the art, and the technology. And I wonder if that screen just got super brighter, because it just got brighter on my screen. Doesn't matter, I just plugged it in. So we're looking for that unique mix of art, technology, and science, and it's going to be found here in Atlanta, right in that apartment spot. But the overall Atlanta feeling is such that there is that mix of science, art, and technology, right? And why? Because the South is about collaboration. I've determined that Atlanta's charm is its collaboration potential, because we do not mind who you are here. We do not mind. This is a community. We want everybody's input. Like, right? I went to the MLK Center the other day, and it was an open forum. Everybody could add to the conversation. It was not about who you were, what you knew, or how smart you were, or anything like that. It was about your experience in this community and the valuable insights that you have to offer based on your own perception of the community, which is important and matters, right? So that was an interesting thing about Atlanta, and that Southern charm really brings collaboration. And I think Georgia Tech really is uniquely positioned to brand itself as a collaborative university here, as a collaborative research center, as one of the most creative collaborative research centers in the nation, right? Way more interesting than MIT for that reason, because MIT is ultra competitive, hyper competitive, right? We're ultra collaborative, hyper collaborative down here at Georgia Tech in the South, because we got that Southern hospitality home slice. Right? We will help you out and we will get you going in the way that you need to go. So what Georgia Tech is going to be about is about community consulting for technology and art projects. So we're going to start this outreach program, and we're going to try to get people in the community talking to the people at Georgia Tech, because we have this technology. You know, like I went the other day to C4, I was on an artist panel, me and Mikhail, right? We were the experts. It was bad. It was awesome, right? So it was real fun. Talked to about 10, 12 artists, you know, from the community. Everybody was really engaged, trying to understand how, you know, so one guy, Igor, right? So he's like, you know, what do I do if I have an idea? How do I come approach you guys and ask you a question about my concept, my invention, or whatever? I'm like, you know what, Igor, it's really sad, but there's actually no freaking formal mechanism to do that, dude. Like, we can sit here and give you 10 minutes of our time and save you 2 years of research because we know all this stuff. You don't have to Google it all, right? But there is no mechanism to do that. So me and Mikhail, right, sat down with Igor for 10 minutes here and gave him all the technology he needed to make his invention happen. He had a very interesting invention. I'm not going to steal it from him because I have plenty of my own, right, that I'm way more passionate about than his. So I would much rather spend 15 minutes to help Igor out and figure out how to help him generate value in this world such that he can leave and then start generating value and then make a cool invention that helps somebody down the road. And that was something that I contributed to positively without, you know, I'm not going to steal his idea. I'm not going to try to become rich, neither was Mikhail. He was a little worried about that. He was a little, didn't know if he wanted to tell us his idea right up front, right? He was a little like that. But once he did, it was fine. You know, it doesn't matter. I'm not trying to stake his idea. I've got plenty. But anyhow, Georgia Tech's now going to be that model, right? We're going to try to build out that model according to what my efforts are going to be. That's where they're going to be targeted a lot of time, you know, in addition to my thesis, right? Writing my thesis, which I love, right? I love the research, but I don't want to do the document that much because it's boring. Writing that document would be boring. So that's why I want to write a book instead. I want to write a book and make it exciting for myself and then just downsize it into the PhD so that, you know, I can trick myself into actually being motivated. So that's the plan anyways. But yeah, so this community outreach by Georgia Tech and by me and by the people I'm working with, I think it's going to spur some interesting development.